Alright, so as I said before, we're going to look at the different actions you can use. So the first one is refresh this listing. If you look in contacts.js, you can see on click this .refresh listing. So the function is created within here, and it calls this .getContacts, and that is what updates the listing. If you don't put e.prevent default, the page, the link, it reloads the page, right? So you have to stop the event handler here to prevent the default action. So just remember that as well. So the other action I want to focus on is when you click. So when you click on one of the list items, you see the results of the contacts. So let's see how we create that here. So within the list item, we have a span element, and this is where we display the name, the email, right? So on click, this props.viewContact, and we pass in the list item. So again, props is what you pass in, right? So in your constructor, you receive the props that was sent from the parent component, and well, yeah, so we have access to all the functions. So in home, when you look at the contacts, you have the viewContact function. So I believe that is the function you just look at that. Yes, viewContact. So we pass in viewContact here. viewContact was created in home.js, so let's just look at that. So this is viewContact. It receives the object and it updates the state of your app. So it sets the object as that you pass in, which is the list item here. So it sets that to the current contact. It sets is view is true, which allows you to change. So usually you'd see something like this. So when you say is view is true, it would show the details layout. Then you have your left title and your left description, which changes when you, so this is your left title and the left description, and when you click on it, it changes to this. So that is how we do that here. So we get the contact name, and then the description is pretty simple. So we can remove a contact. So just pressing delete does it for you. If nothing is selected, you get a alert saying no contact selected. So once you choose it, you press delete, it will delete it. Right? So let's see how we do that. So the function call is remove contact. It's received from props which is passed from into the child from the parent component. So this is the function here, remove contact, and we can just see how we pass it here, remove contact. So prop, remove contact, this remove contact. So just the logic. If the state has a current ID, then we can say that it has a current object, so we could go ahead and delete it. Otherwise, we say no contact is selected. This is pretty straightforward JavaScript, but just to go through it, you have a form data object. We append the ID, we call fetch on the URL, which is where we submit in our data to, and we get back our results. Well, we're not getting back anything, so we're saying after this is complete, then we call this get contacts, which will update the listing, and then we set our state. So we say the view is false, and we change our contact, our left title and left description as shown here. So looking at edit is a button, and it calls edit contact. I might have went through this already, but just to go through it again, edit contact is here. Yes, I believe I went through this, but all it does is update the state current contact object with the object you currently selected. Alright, that also is pretty straightforward. And so the last part is really just how we are rendering some components conditionally. So within our curly brackets, apparently we can do this. So this is shorthand, right? So if this is if the state view is not true, the state is view, right? The state item is view is not true, display create contacts. Otherwise, which is this little dots here, we will display the normal contact view. So it's just how it was done, or how I choose to do it. But just know that format. So 2 curly brackets, and within that we could have our conditional statements, if and else. And again, what this does is changes the view, right? So there are 2 different views, and we just change it and update them to suit. Alright, so that's part 2. Check out the website. We should have I haven't done it as yet, but I'll write out the full post on how I created the app and all the code involved, better explanations maybe, and then we're going to continue doing some more building some more React apps. It's pretty interesting framework, so it's good to get a hang of it. All right.